Ticker News with Aaron Young. This is Ticker Today.
Hello, thanks for joining me on Ticker Today. Breaking developments around the globe. A school shooting shocks Austria. 10 people killed in Graz after a former student opens fire. The country today in mourning. Troops on US soil. President Trump deploys Marines to Los Angeles as immigration protests intensify in California now pushes back. The World Bank sounds the alarm. US economic growth cut in half for the next year with Trump's trade war policies under fire. Greta Thunberg arrested. The climate activist is detained in Israel while trying to deliver aid to Gaza. Now she's deported on a plane to France. A boycott investigation, the FTC probes top agencies like Omnicom and WPP over potential collusion targeting Elon Musk's X platform. You are watching Ticker Today, the latest news in business moving the world. Let's get started. First today to that tragic school shooting in Graz, Austria that left 10 people dead, sending shockwaves throughout the nation and a warning that some viewers may find the images ahead disturbing. A 21-year-old gunman opened fire at the high school where he was once a pupil before taking his own life. Authorities now launching an investigation, reports suggesting the shooter may have experienced bullying throughout school. In response, the government has now declared 3 days of national mourning as residents gather to pay their respects. Here's Austria's Chancellor.
The shooting spree in a school in Graz in the Dreischützengasse is a national tragedy which has hit us deeply. This was an incredible act and 9 people were taken away from us, and there's no words to express the pain, the mourning which all Austria is feeling right now. Our country is standing still in this moment.
In the United States, US Marines have been deployed to Los Angeles on President Trump's orders in response to ongoing immigration protests. The decision includes activating 4,000 National Guard troops, which California Governor Gavin Newsom has criticised as politically motivated. While most protests have remained peaceful, some clashes have resulted in over 180 arrests since Saturday. Officials now working to clean up areas affected by vandalism. Governor Newsom has filed a lawsuit challenging the legality of Trump's troop activation without consent from the state. President Trump commenting on the situation.
Hey, Mr. President, when is the last time you spoke with Governor Newsom?
A day ago. Called him up to tell him, got to do a better job. He's doing a bad job, causing a lot of death and a lot of potential death. If we didn't send out the National Guard, and last time we gave him a little additional help, you would have, Los Angeles would be burning right now. Los Angeles would be not a lot different than what you saw take place in California and Los Angeles just a little while ago.
Mayor Karen Bass has hit out at protesters after another night on the streets.
The violence we saw last night, there is just no way to view it as unacceptable. So I do not believe that individuals that commit vandalism and violence in our city really are in support of immigrants. They have another agenda. If you support immigrants and the rights of immigrants to be in our city, you would not be tearing the city apart.
The World Bank predicts a significant slowdown in US economic growth, forecasting just 1.4% for 2025, down from 2.8% last year, largely due to President Trump's tariff policies. It warns that global economic growth could also decline to 2.3% this year, affecting many countries, particularly Mexico, expected to see growth plummet to 0.2%. And if tariffs increase further, the World Bank estimates global growth could drop to 1.8%, the bank highlighting the potential for deep harm to living standards without urgent changes to trade policies. Meanwhile, trade talks between the United States and China are set to continue in London as both nations work to reduce tensions over tech and rare earth shipments. The discussions lasted over 6 hours on the first day, with representatives concluding their meeting Monday night. US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent describing the talks as positive, with the Chinese delegation led by Vice Premier He Lifeng did not provide comments after the meeting. A potential easing of US export restrictions now on the table, contingent on China reducing its limits on rare earth exports. Greta Thunberg is being deported from Israel following her arrest while attempting to deliver aid to Gaza. Israel Defense Minister stated Thunberg and her fellow activists refused to watch a video detailing the October 7 Hamas attacks after being taken for a screening upon their arrival. Thunberg's legal team is now seeking a meeting with her, while Sweden has declined to assist, citing travel warnings. Protests have erupted across Sweden and Europe in response to her detention. In the US, the Federal Trade Commission is investigating major advertising firms, including Omnicom and WPP, over potential antitrust violations related to boycotts of certain platforms, notably Elon Musk's X. On Monday, the FTC sent requests for information to multiple agencies as part of a broader inquiry into the coordination of advertising strategies against certain sites. It comes after the agency sought similar information from non-profit groups like Media Matters, which focuses on media quality. In court, Erin Patterson's trial for the alleged murder of 3 relatives is now in its 7th week in Morwell, Victoria. She is accused of serving them a beef Wellington containing poisonous mushrooms. During questioning, she expressed anxiety about potential mushroom poisoning but denied being worried about being caught. Additionally, she disputed a nurse's claims regarding her condition when admitted to hospital, stating that there were no conversations about her children and confirming she signed a discharge form against medical advice. Stocks rose on Tuesday as traders remained optimistic about progress in the US-China trade talks, with the Dow up 105 points, the S&P gaining 0.55%. The ongoing discussions in London, now in their second day, have raised hopes for a resolution that would avoid high tariffs. US Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick mentioned that talks are progressing positively and could extend into Wednesday if necessary. Meanwhile, the ASX 200 index reached a new record high Tuesday, closing up 71 points at 8,587 points. Following positive trade talks and hopes for a rate cut in July, 10 out of 11 sectors finished higher, driven by gains in banking and also tech shares. Notable performances included Zip, which surged over 6%, and strong movements in major banks like CBA and NAB.